Hey everyone!
Hey!
Welcome back. We are going to recap episode 4 of Finding Mr. Christmas,
And this episode is called The Talented Mr. Christmas.
where they are doing a talent show.
Yes! Oh my god, I can't believe they're making them do a talent show.
A talent show.
This late in the competition?
I feel like this is a perfect time to have a talent show because there's the right amount of people and then we actually get to see who has a little talent.
Yeah, who's got the goods? Now we open up and the guys are in the Christmas Illusions Lounge and they're lamenting about Gage going home.
Yes, now Gage, unfortunately, is not here. He will be missed. He's not here because he basically said, get up on your good foot in the last episode.
Oh my god, he should have helped that girl up. You know, he's thinking about that. He's probably like having like nightmares, like bad dreams of the night about this. Like waking up in cold sweats, like, I should have helped that redheaded bitch off the ice. Yeah, Ezra has a confessional and like he was just in the bottom. He was sitting there just like, I'm galvanized, I am focused, I'm ready to take the crown. He's not going to be in the bottom again.
Even when he's sad, he's pretty.
Oh my god, he's so beautiful.
Ezra, don't feel down, girl. You got a future somewhere.
Hey,
probably here, probably Mr. Christmas.
Honestly,
I'm honestly Team Ezra.
we're here for the Christmas abs.
The Christmas abs movie needs to happen.
Oh, trust. We'll greenlight it. I've already greenlit it. It's in production. Okay? But bells start a-ringing, and it's time for the Festive Face-Off already.
The Festive Face-Off starts right away. They didn't even get no Tyra mail, but they basically got her bells ringing, which is technically like she already done had hers.
I know. I thought you were going to say they got a ring alert. Like, could you imagine?
Oh my god.
Really sent a panic into their soul. Like, oh my god, is someone in my house? Yeah. Let's get into it because this was a whole lot.
Okay, so the Festive Face-Off this time is like, this could have been like a main challenge.
This could have been like several mini challenges.
So Jonathan starts off by saying, you have to take out a saw that's in ice.
Yeah, it's a full-on obstacle course. And in order to like, how do I break? It's like setting up mousetrap, man. Like I was like, what? What? Yeah, and at the end you yell rumshackle. Like, what are we doing here? It was the first step was you have to chop down your own tree, but in order to get your tree to chop down, you have to break the ice and get a saw out of ice.
Yes, and then you have to carry that tree and balance yourself through little narrow pieces of wood that are lifted off the ground. Then all of a sudden go through like Christmas lights. You know, you got to start doing some dodging like your Britney Spears in the Toxic music video.
Fully James Bond lasers.
Yes, and then you have to go into the sleigh ride and pull your Christmas tree all the way to the end. And then you have to as well
dig out a tree topper.
Dig out a tree topper full of snow and then plant your tree, put the topper on, and that's how you win.
And don't forget to yell Yahtzee, otherwise it doesn't count.
What in the Mr. Beast YouTube video?
I was looking at this, like, it was fully, I hate Puff, it was fully, like, setting up Mousetrap. Like, what are we doing? Like, there was so many rules to this. I got confused. And they also had, like, a cheering, like, crowd of Hallmark superfans, like, outside while they all were doing this. To which I wonder, what are their credentials for Hallmark superfans? Because I feel like we kind of qualify now.
Yes.
Did they stream to redeem the Groomsmen? Because we did.
Yeah, we streamed all 3 of the Groomsmen movies to redeem our little bonus, okay? On Hallmark Plus, do we need to get enough bonuses to be like, let's trade in for a Hallmark superfan on season 2?
Really, though? Oh my god. They're like, if you stream all of the gourmet, like, detective series, girl, you're in next season.
Blake and Parker smash their ice immediately. Parker and Blake get the heads up. I'm like, congratulations. Now, Blake was mentioning before that he is confident because he used to be athletic, like with football and stuff. And so has Jonathan. Jonathan's like a track person. I don't know sports. That's sports.
But does that involve like being a lumberjack? Because like,
right.
I guess like you have to move quickly. It applies. But like Blake gets his saw out and immediately eats shit into a tree.
Yes, he falls and he falls hard. I'm like,
ooh, with a saw in his hand.
Right. I'm like, where is your stunt double? That girl from the last episode should have been here to taking that fall for you.
Honestly, where's the fall girl? Like, come on now. These are all stunts.
Oh, you know what?
Immediately out
you know what? Maybe Blake is coming for her gig. So it's like, if you need someone to fall for you in season 2, Blake is like, call me.
He'll tumble for you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was looking at this like, this is all smelling of stunts. Like, this is not my department. You do never do a stunt. I learned from Joan Collins, don't do a stunt. It's dangerous. You put a poor stunt person out of work.
I think my favorite thing was Elijah mentioning that if in a Hallmark movie, my girlfriend tells me, hey, I want a Christmas tree, I gotta go chop down a Christmas tree and put it in my bag. I'm like, I've never seen an obstacle course like this in a Hallmark movie.
Excuse me? No. You would literally just go to the Christmas tree farm and just grab one, or go to Target and get a fake one.
And I was also thinking, this is why you have stunt people.
Yeah.
You have actors, then you have stuntmen, okay? Just have the stuntmen carry the tree for you.
Baby, don't do the stunts. It's fine. I just sat this out just like, what's the insurance on this? I gotta run with a saw. That's like running with scissors, okay? No.
Sag.
Where's Mr. Yuck? Where's the Mr. Yuck sticker? It's all over this.
Speaking about Elijah is actually the first one that is able to chop off their tree because he was running behind and smashing the ice.
Yeah.
But after he smashed the ice, what he did is he was smart about this. He picked the first tree he saw. He didn't go back there and look for another tree. The first tree that was right in front of him, went for it, sawed it, then snapped it, and then boom, he was the first one to cut the tree.
Also, an axe would have been faster doing this. An axe is what you use to chop a tree down, not a saw. It was like, we're not doing like a redwood. Why are we using a saw? But yeah, I guess because they wanted the guys to struggle with it. Oh my goodness.
You just want to get that fantasy of that guy that always is a lumberjack on Instagram.
Oh my God, the one that spits in his hand and like ties the thing up with it. Yeah, I am. Again, like you use an axe. That's what lumberjacks have for chopping down trees.
And you know who's getting their life in this?
Who?
Melissa and Jonathan. They have a headset. They have little mics. They're getting their life.
Melissa is all up in their grill as they're trying to chop down these trees. Like, these poor boys are just sitting there struggling. They are on the struggle bus.
Yeah, Parker is struggling. Now, Elijah actually is the first one to go into the, what do you call that, an obstacle course? Where the wood is lifted up, you have to balance yourself?
Yeah, balance beams.
Yeah, like Elijah actually slips. Yeah. And then Blake takes the lead.
I mean, they weren't high up. It was like a foot drop. But still, they're on risers. It's still a stunt.
But you still have to carry a tree and everything. That's hard.
Yeah, you still got to carry a tree. I'm not saying like it's not hard. I'm just saying it wasn't that dangerous of a stunt that you fall off of it. Like, I guess maybe if you twist your ankle.
So yeah, Blake takes the lead, and then the camera cuts to Hayden, who is saying that he picked possibly the biggest tree out of all of them. So he's still sawing.
I would have like looked around and found the skankiest, thinnest tree and just like took that one out.
Yes.
If it wasn't cutting, you just jumped to a different tree. Like, look, there was multiple ones there. Like, I guess he was committed at that point.
At that point, he was committed. Now, at this point, they have to go through all the Christmas lights here that are just wrapped like they're laser beams.
Yeah, wrapped and weaved. It's sort of like that one trap and saw with the barbed wire. You like crawl through it, only not as high stakes.
Now, I'm like, you guys have to pull some little Kim moves here, like,
oh, fully.
To avoid the wires.
Now's the time for the splits. If any of you are like contortionists, here's your moment.
But yeah, this part I was like, how did he even get the tree through there?
That's what I was wondering. Like, you had to just like pull it through because it looks like it gets hooked on everything.
Did they even pull the tree through there?
Yeah, they had to take it on their back, like dragging the tree through that.
Oh my God, what in the Kim possible?
It was the most. Like, there was several things that could just made up for several festive face-offs. Like, this was so much.
This was also there. Okay, for this part, this is a little pro tip. Okay, cut this part of the challenge, put it in your reel, and send it out to Mission Impossible.
For real. Can I just say something? I have a theory here. I have a conspiracy theory. I'm guessing that the Airbnb they're renting, they might have had it in their contract where they had to chop down some trees.
Oh.
And, you know, this is part of them sneaking it in here as, like, you know, content.
Like as a challenge.
That's a challenge. They're like, yeah, we also have some pesky trees. You can just chop those down for us. You can have an extra day.
We cut back to Blake, and Ezra actually has caught up to Blake. So they're head to head. They're about to pull the sleigh, like they're Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Honey, and Ezra is pulling that sleigh with no problem. And Blake is having some problem because he wore boots. He wore his dancing shoes. They have no traction. Mm-hmm. So on this mud, it is not doing him any good. And he like even shows the camera like his boot in the confessional, just like, look, there's no traction.
No traction. So he's just there slipping, not being able to move far at all.
Girl, it's fully just like those football videos of like the guys at practice just like eating crap in the mud, trying to like pull that sled. Oh, it's like this is where the football thing would have come in handy.
Yes.
This was your moment, girl.
I was like, girl, just take off the boots.
Take the boots off.
Like,
feel the turf between your toes, girl.
Right, just clop. And go for it.
Use your hands, do something. Come on.
I'm not surprised that Ezra is doing good in this because he was in the Navy.
Oh, for sure. So I'm guessing this like really like a minor obstacle course compared to what he's used to.
Yeah, he's used to this.
Like they should have threw a wall in there. We needed a wall. They have to go over a wall.
With a tree?
Yes! With a tree on. Like a chimney, climb it like a kid. It's like just lean into everything, okay? Oh my goodness. But like he's pulling that sled with no problem. And eventually some of the guys start to catch up with Blake. Like Blake is still struggling there. And Parker actually has a brilliant idea. Parker is also wearing cowboy boots, but instead of going with the grain, he goes against it. He shifts gears and starts pulling it from behind.
Backwards.
Yeah, backwards, letting his heels of the cowboy boots dig into the turf. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is what separates the boys from the cowboys.
Like, he literally slayed the sleigh ride.
He slayed it. I'm like, you watch Westerns. Okay, that was a John Wayne move right there. Okay, you're going to pull that buggy out of the mud.
And like, he's beautiful. And he's smart.
And he's smart and so tall.
And he cares a lot, too.
I don't know if you know this, but he's a model.
Hey, he's a model, but he knows what he's doing. It's like, turn around, still looks good, looking at the camera and just walking back.
Oh,
like,
my God. Just, like,
oh, my God,
flexing.
can you imagine if there's, like, paparazzi and he's just like...
Blows a kiss. Yes. I lived. And like, Blake looks over and starts biting his style. He bites his moves.
Yeah, he's like, well, he got a good idea. So then finally Blake starts moving.
Yeah. But it didn't matter because Parker was soon up and like chasing up to like Ezra.
Yes.
And meanwhile, poor Jonathan and Hayden are still back there
They're
sawing that tree.
Still sawing that tree. I feel bad for Jonathan because I'm like, he was really wanting to do this challenge because he's athletic, but unfortunately, he doesn't have the tree cutting skills.
And you know what? Carpentry is usually not on the table when it comes to a Hallmark movie.
Mm-hmm. Both Hayden and Jonathan didn't learn cut in the Pokemon game.
Gotta get HM1. Come on. Come on now. Yeah. So stupid. What was I going to say? Oh, so yeah, I was looking at this challenge, like all of this, and just like taking it in a whole and thinking to myself, like, I would throw this challenge out of principle. Out of sheer principle, I would not partake in this. Like, these are all stunts. And I have to cut down a tree. That's props. That's not my department. We're not doing this.
You would just sit on the ice like...
Yeah. Or I would like lie and say I'm like part of like a, eco-friendly group or something. It's like, I can't chop down a tree. It's against my character. I can't do that.
And then they were like, James, weren't you just sipping that drink out of a plastic straw? This dragging of the sleigh is 30 feet.
With a weight belt and a weighted sleigh and a tree on top of it.
Oh my God. I don't think I'll be able to do this.
Absolutely not. I'm just like, can we just act like it was pulled? I'm not doing this.
As a competitor, what does this have to do with acting?
You had to have like a hernia after this, girl. Like this, they had to be in so much pain.
So Esther is the first one to finish the Santa sleigh pull, but then it gets revealed that they also had to dig up out of snow the perfect tree topper, and there's also like other ornaments in there. And I was just thinking, this is still going?
It's still going. There's like a whole like trough full of fake snow. Like, all that fake ass snow going into your lungs? Absolutely not.
Yes, and actually Parker mentioned how when he actually was the second one to catch up to Ezra, and Ezra and Parker both looking for it, Parker apparently whiffs a big amount of snow, and I'm pretty sure that's what distracted him. I would have been like, oh, what is it? Oh my God, get this out of my face.
Absolutely. It was on his like beard and everything. I was like, oh, no, absolutely not. I took a step back from this. Like, this isn't my challenge.
Yes.
I'm okay with this.
And Ezra actually manages to pull the perfect tree topper first, and then plants a tree and puts a tree topper. Ezra wins.
Yes. And what a challenge.
Yes.
And poor Hayden and Jonathan were still sawing.
I think my favorite part about this part when they showed back Hayden and Jonathan still sawing was you saw Melissa as soon as I said Ezra wins. She's like, ooh, she left them. She's
Yeah,
like,
she did. Girl, she was in the wind.
She's like, let me go see my baby Ezra win. Show those Christmas abs.
Bye, flops. Like, just like, those little heels dug in that turf.
Bye, losers. The winner over there.
Excuse me, the winning. Yes. Oh my God. A dust cloud behind her. Yeah, Ezra wins the advantage for the next challenge, which honestly he could need because he was in the bottom last time.
Yeah, so he gets an advantage. Two, which they reveal that the advantage is, and before Jonathan mentioned that, like, watch it be picking the order again.
Oh my God.
And it was.
It was.
Making the order again.
You were rewarded with work. You did all that work for more work.
I would have been like, wah, wah. I would have been like, that was like the hardest one.
Yeah.
Ezra ends up picking the order of the talent show because they revealed it's going to be a talent show.
Yes. So we return to the Christmas Illusions Lounge so the guys can catch their breath. And they're all discussing what their talents are going to be. Parker's basically saying, like, he can't dance and he can't sing. So it's not looking too good for him at the moment.
Yeah, Elijah actually throws some really good advice.
He does.
Elijah's like, why don't you just do dad jokes? I'm like, Elijah
was helping you out.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your ears open because he's a good guy. And Blake was basically being very cagey about his stuff. He's like, I'm not telling y'all what my talent is. I don't want none of y'all to take it. And Elijah throws some shade.
Ooh.
He is just like, well, I know what you could do. You could pull out a Hallmark superfan and just feed them some of your cheesy pickup lines. It's like that one meme where everyone's like, oh!
I was like, oh my God. I thought we were the only ones that noticed.
Elijah, you said the quiet part out loud.
Yes.
You weren't supposed to say that, girl.
You weren't supposed to call him out like that, okay?
He didn't have a comeback. He ate him up with that.
Yeah. Gagged him a bit.
Girl, it devoured. No crumbs.
I'm like, we were just saying this in the last episode.
I thought we were sitting here like haters. Like we were sitting there working commission with him. But everyone else sees it too. So that's enlightening.
At least Elijah saw it and I was like, ooh, girl, give him all your pickup lines. That's what you do best. Do your pickup line thing you do, girl.
Do that little thing you do with the pickup lines. Yeah. Do that.
Damn. I gagged me when I was watching. Oh.
I was like, girl, turn him over. She's burned. All right. They arrive to their venue and Jonathan Bennett greets them with the curtains drawn at the stage. And we're all wondering, like, what's going to happen here? They pull back those curtains. It's a full replica of the Mean Girls talent show.
Yes, I lived. Oh my God. And in the background says Mr. Talent.
Ah! I lived. It was like so good. They bring Melissa back out too.
I am so glad they referenced Mean Girls. Jonathan, you made the gays happy.
He did that.
Yeah.
Okay. Ezra is informed of his advantage where he gets to pick the order, but he's also told that there will be a second advantage to this as well, which is like, y'all keep adding things last minute. Like, I feel like that's how that obstacle course was as I was watching it.
But you know what? I'm happy for Ezra because at least he gets something besides just picking the order because that was a hard... Maybe they went home, thought it over. I was like, this is not enough. Ezra did the most.
I was like, give him a cruise or something, girl. Like, that wasn't enough. You rewarded him with work. Yeah, I'm glad he's getting something else because also this means Ezra gets an extra chance to stay in the competition, which means we get to see those abs more. Yes. And that's the most important thing.
I know. I was about to be like, James, you got to hit up Jonathan and be like, we don't have his number, but we're pretending like
Jonathan Bennett.
Jonathan Bennett.
If you send Ezra home, I swear.
Not even that. Jonathan Bennett put me in that Hallmark counseling room so we could give Ezra a better prize.
Honestly, put us in that meeting, the board meeting. I know there's a gay board meeting going on in this. We will get your stuff sorted out. Don't you worry.
We're like that super fan that told Nicki Minaj, oh, you will get this music done if you hire me.
And she hired him.
Yeah.
You got the promotion. But Ezra, shocking turn of events, decides to go first.
Yes. Ezra was fully confident and said, I want to have the guys see what they're going up against. I was like, ooh.
Oh. Where was this fire the last challenge?
Well, he almost went home, so he's like, let me... light it up.
He is galvanized and he is focused.
Yes.
So the order that Ezra decided on was going to be him first, then Parker, Jonathan, then Hayden, then Elijah, then Blake, finishing it up. Which I think is actually incredibly fair. Like, he didn't stack it to where anyone's at a disadvantage.
Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, he doesn't know how talented these other competitors are. So, he
wasn't even thinking about that.
He was not thinking about that.
He was like, as long as I go first, who cares? Like, it'll be fine. They can follow that, bitches. Oh my goodness, but they're told they have to perform in front of a live crowd, which they usher in a huge crowd of Hallmark super fans.
Again, we're right here.
Where was the invite? Okay, we streamed to redeem. All right, I'm here to redeem. I sat through 3 of those groomsmen's movies, okay?
And then Elijah is actually really excited about this because he has performance experience with Hamilton. So he says he loves feeding off that energy that the audience gives you.
Okay, so I must say, I wasn't expecting this out of Ezra, but Ezra comes out, and it kind of gave me that one joke from Miss Congeniality when she comes out with the water glasses. She's like, what's her talent? Bartending? It was bartending, girl. His talent was bartending. I was like, I live.
But,
where are we going with this?
But he was also on rollerblades.
Yes.
And he was showing off those legs. I was like, ooh, you got me already.
In a modest cut short.
Yes.
It could have been shorter.
It could have been shorter, but you know what? He showed a little bit above the knee.
He said, you know what? You're only getting legs today because he was wearing a full-on turtleneck.
That's too hot. At least cut off the sleeves.
Cut off the sleeves. Or here's the thing. I'm going to call this out right now. Straight men, what is your thing with the turtlenecks? Like, what kind of power move are you getting from this?
I think we have to blame Steve Jobs for that.
You know what? I think you're right. They all, like, think they're serving tech, bro.
Yes.
Like, let's not do this. It's cutting off your necks. Don't do it.
Now, I was actually really impressed with Ezra for his talent show. I was like, I could see why he was confident because he says that he does this at private parties in Miami.
And they showed a little shot of him shirtless. Like, that's how you should be. Not this neck scrotum situation.
Yes. And he actually starts preparing the drinks, I think he does a few jokes.
He does.
He does a few jokes. And I was like, okay, Ezra. And then out of nowhere, he pulls out the split. I was like, okay.
It should have been like, oh, I dropped the napkin. Ah! A stunt. He pulled a stunt, honey.
Split on rollerblades. I'm like, Ezra, listen here. If you're watching this, you got to take this on a tour.
Honey, the audience was shaken and stirred. Even Blake was just like, I can't do the splits and Wranglers.
But no, Ezra, you need to take this on a tour. I'm telling you, I'll buy a ticket. I'll buy a drink from you. Make this happen. Ezra's Christmas Abs Tour.
He nailed it.
Yeah, he nailed it. He actually did make drinks. And there was a point where he had his back against the camera. But you know what?
Smart.
The cameraman zoomed in on his butt. I was like,
and he was giving you a little side to side.
Yeah,
he was spending a little too much time there.
I was like,
the crowd ate it up.
The crowd ate it up. I ate it up. I didn't care. I got distracted because the cameraman like zoomed in right on his butt. I was like, ooh, cameraman, what are you doing here?
You think those drinks were wet? Take a look at that audience. Oh my God. But after he wraps up his talent, like he's feeling really good, right? He is hit with his next challenge, the surprise attack challenge. He is surprise attacked by Kelty Knight, who works for E! News. They have to do a surprise on-the-spot interview right after they get off stage.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have been like jump scared because right away she goes in like, hi, I'm Kelty Knight from E! News. I'm like,
she comes in so hot. Like, it is super, super hot the way she comes in. And Ezra is immediately taken out. Like, good to meet you. Poor, like a deer in front of the headlights. Our poor baby Ezra.
I thought the interview was going well at first, but then she asked them a question. Are you ready for Hollywood? And Ezra went on a novel.
Honey, he was giving you, it was fully like Cosmo, the Queen of Melrose, just like, well, my mother, she was like Lamb Margaret with the meatballs. Like, oh my God, this is not a recipe. Like, let's dial this back. You just gotta like give it a nice little throwaway answer. Like, well, is Hollywood ready for Mr. Christmas? Ooh. That's what you gotta say. Throw the answer away. That's all she wants. She just wants a smile.
Yeah, and she actually notices that he was nervous, and this is where she explains, this is your second advantage. You get a second shot at this interview. Was it like he gets to choose a question?
She didn't really explain it too much. She says you just get an extra advantage. And he actually cleverly said, well, can I use this advantage to ask you a question? And she's like, I don't see why not. There's no rule book. What do you want to know? I'm an open blouse. Yeah. And I basically asked her for pointers on like what he did wrong with his question, which was smart.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're supposed to be plugging. And you could have just turned this answer back around to Mr. Christmas. Also, that was free media training.
Yeah.
She's not charging.
She was not charging.
Maybe wait, she already got paid.
Yeah, she already got paid. She's fine. Yeah, she's doing good. He lands the second question. Like, the follow-up really worked out in his favor, and he saved himself from this interview.
Ezra truly slayed, but honestly, he gave a good answer. I forgot what it was because I was just looking at those legs.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, girl. Honestly, but now thinking about it, this just came to me right now. Like, That's So Raven. Where is James Vaughn?
That's a great question.
Isn't this what his gig is?
This was a prime opportunity for James Vaughn to be here. Why wasn't he doing this?
Yeah, Jonathan, plug in your husband. I need to see him on the TV.
I'm certain
interviewing.
He was probably backstage watching this, just like, an entertainment reporter, babe. Like, honey, That's what he does.
Yes, and he just dropped the Christmas album. Like, you could have just had him plug in his Christmas album as well.
Ah,
You know what?
we're 2 steps ahead. That's truly what
I'm
it is.
telling you, Jonathan, someone at Hallmark, dial us up.
And I'm normally not one to advocate for the evil James getting more work, but this is his opportunity. This was his moment.
Yes.
You took work away from James. She took food out of James's mouth, Kelty Knight. With your fake gay job, investigative internet journalist, whatever, entertainment journalist.
Now, next up is Parker.
Oh, Parker.
Now, he started it right. He came out with pajamas. He had no socks. I'm like, oh, he's trying to get...
He was giving feet.
He's trying to get those feet people on his side. Okay. And then he started off with a few dad jokes.
Yeah.
Which, they were pretty decent.
He explains his concept, which is like how his wife loves when he folds sheets for her. Like every Sunday he folds sheets. So he's going to show them how to fold a fitted sheet, which is actually hard. Mm-hmm. It's not easy. Like it's a special method to this madness. But I feel like the problem with this is that it got a little too tutorial with it. He just needed to insert some jokes into it.
Yeah.
And at one point he drops the sheets and he like has to bend over and pick it up, which the cheeky cameraman took opportunity to get a close-up on those feet.
That cameraman, he knows what he's doing. That cameraman needs his ass ate or something.
For real, doing a full service for everyone. Okay, you're welcome. Give that man a raise. But yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't really it doesn't really go anywhere.
No, that's the thing. I was learning.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fold a fitted sheet. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
A fitted sheet. But what I needed was more of your dad jokes in there. You should have taken Elijah's suggestion and done a few more dad jokes while doing the folding. It would have gone over better.
I honestly think so too. Like it just needed to get punched up a little more. But honestly, he's a model, working acting jobs here and there. He couldn't afford Bruce Lange to come in and punched up with some material. Like, he's working with what he's got. And he's got a lot. Those legs were enough.
Yes.
Honestly. But, I felt so bad. It's like, I wanted this to go somewhere. And as far as, a talent show goes, having been on a reality show with talent show and implemented into them, it doesn't matter how meaningless or dumb the talent is as long as you make it fun. I can speak from experience, having been someone that won a talent show on a reality show competition, and my talent was fully a not talent. It was just about having big tits.
Because you could have totally, just made some jokes about it. If you can't sing... Wait, can he sing?
He said he couldn't sing and he couldn't dance.
Oh, okay.
But you got a mouth. You could tell some jokes.
And you're pretty.
You're pretty. Honestly, that crowd would have ate up anything you gave them, truly. Just make some in-between the sheets jokes or something. Be cheeky with it.
Yeah, pull a little Jennifer Coolidge, bend and snap.
Yeah, some double entendre. Yep. Come on, you got this.
Then all of a sudden, Parker walks to the back, and out of nowhere, Kelty Knight's like, Kelty Knight here, E-News!
Right out the gate. She comes in so hot.
I was like, oh my God, this could honestly turn into a horror movie.
She is on their ass immediately when they come in. And he sits down and she's asked, and she immediately starts off the interview kind of awkward. She sets the tone really weirdly. She's like, well, I have to say, that was one of the weirdest talent she's ever seen in a talent show.
Yeah.
To which I argue, it's I've come from a competition where someone made ice water on stage. I've seen some dumb talents. Trust and believe this is not the worst one that's ever happened. I feel like he did a pretty good job. He mentioned his wife, and this is where it got a little weird for me.
Yes. He started talking about his wife, the inspiration. He works from home, so he also doubles as a stay-at-home husband, which was a joke he said on stage. But then...
Kelty Knight inserts this weird opinion where she says, oh, well, in show business, people usually try and keep their married life more private. I'm like, excuse me?
Maybe back in the day.
It was the 1950s. Is he Mamie Van Doren on an industry studio date? What the fuck? No. I'm pretty sure it's fine. People know he's married.
Yeah, she had a problem with him talking about his wife too much. But I'm like, I kind of see right through it. Kelty, you thought he was hot.
You thought he was hot.
And you are mad that you couldn't flirt with him.
Totally is what it was giving. And it was just every time he mentioned his wife, she even brought up a couple more times in his critique too, where she was just Hallmark hunks, you're supposed to be able to have that fantasy of being with them. And I'm just I'm so sorry his wife is making it harder to insert yourself into this fantasy. It was weird.
It was giving on the weekend.
Oh my, it was totally that. It's just I don't want to hear about your wife. She's your 9 to 5, but I could be your weekend.
She also threw some shade.
Yeah?
She threw some shade. She was like, Hallmark is not greenlighting the Christmas sheet movie anytime soon.
To which I argue, I'm like, excuse me, Hallmark did a movie called The Christmas Sweater. Okay, the standards aren't that high.
And look at us. We put Christmas in front of everything and then become a movie. The Christmas puppy.
Totally.
Christmas abs.
What was Parker's? Parker's now the Christmas sheet.
Christmas sheet.
I'll watch it.
Yes. I feel like we made another one.
Jonathan's the Christmas dimples.
Jonathan would be the Christmas dimples. Oh, Isaac. I got Isaac's holiday revenge.
Yes. Yes. Greenlight it now and Blake the Christmas flirt.
Yeah. And then also Gage the Christmas villain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we forgot about David.
What would David's be?
David's awkward smile. The holiday awkward smile.
The holiday photo.
The holiday photo.
There we go. We got there. Look at that, Hallmark. We just made 10 new movies for you.
Yes.
You're welcome. There's your holiday calendar.
What about Elijah?
Oh, Elijah.
He's not so good that I don't even know. Elijah, he does rapping. Elijah's Christmas Carol.
Elijah's Christmas rapping.
Yes. Where he raps and
Christmas
he raps.
rap. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. With the W. So it's like, it ties all in.
Yes. Ah!
Look at that. We did it.
Hallmark, all those movies, gave every single one of these men a short film.
Look at that. We just made their whole holiday calendar for next year.
Yes.
You're welcome.
They give them a short film, put it on a Hallmark Plus, and we'll watch.
And we're not charging.
We're not charging.
We're not charging.
We're not charging. Okay, this is the first time we thought this on this podcast.
Yeah.
We are going to take a break.
We're going to take a break.
We have to do some errands, and we'll be right back.
Toodles. Be right back.
And we're back.
We are back. All right.
Jonathan is next for his talent show, and he uses his track experience for his show. So right off the bat, he comes in with a grand entrance and jumps over the table.
Yes, and he just keeps on jumping. He jumps over a Christmas tree.
And then knocks over another Christmas tree.
He like takes out a Christmas tree.
But I was like, you know what? He meant to do that.
It doesn't matter. It's not gymnastics, okay? It's not the Olympics. It's not how you stick the landing as long as you land somewhere.
But you know what it reminded me of? You remember that meme with that song like ding 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 ding?
Yes!
So that's
the shooting star.
Yes, it reminded me of that when he jumped over the first table the first time. I need somebody to cut him out and
have him just spinning through space.
Spinning through space through the shooting star meme. I know it's old, but do it.
Honestly, I feel like this is the jump he should have ended on.
Yeah.
It didn't. It started to like go south as soon as he started to like do that running jump to the last one. That last jump, it didn't work out.
He messed it up twice because the audience was like, do it again, and he didn't. He messed it up again. But honestly, this is why Drag Race talent shows are 1 minute.
There's a reason for that, okay? Just get it done. Let's get you out of there. Here's the thing. I don't know what the logistics of for this jump was because they're on like a raised stage with presents stacked on top of it. It's like, you're not jumping that, baby. I'm so sorry. It's not happening.
And also, right after that, because he finished his really quick.
Yeah, it was over really, really fast.
It was over really quick. All of a sudden, he goes backstage and Kelty's right there again with a jump scare. Hey, it's Kelty from E! News. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, like she like basically jumps at them like that. Like, damn, girl, okay, calm it down. Let's bring it down to a 3.
That interview, I feel like, went decent.
She was coming in a little hot. Like, she called out the fact that he didn't make his jumps right away. She's trying to throw him off. She's not catch him off guard.
And Jonathan was like, oh, okay.
Is that how that happened?
Is that what happened?
Really?
This is us paraphrasing, but he was like, basically like, oh, okay. But he saved himself.
Not bothered at all.
Basically saying that the Hallmark audience really gave him another chance, and that's what the Hallmark channel is all about.
Yeah, that's why the Hallmark audience is so awesome. Like, you clever girl.
You did that. Like, you ate that.
You ate that. Even she was just like, I think I love you. And I'm like, okay, Drew much Kelty. All right, should I get the Wonder Mop?
I know. He was like, I love your dimples and your smile. He does have a great smile and great dimples. But this reminds me of maybe that's why she was so mad that Parker kept talking about his wife, because she was there to flirt.
She couldn't flirt. Maybe that's what it was.
Is she the Blake?
Maybe.
Ooh.
Oh. But yeah, I have to say he did really well in the interview. Like,
yes,
he saved
did.
it. And despite the fact that it didn't really go well, I think the interview was much better.
Yes. And Jonathan...
That's our little silent claps. Our
Right.
Vogue claps for you. Vogue claps for you. Yeah, the stunts were stunting up until that last one. Again, cut it after the second one.
Yeah. I would have just done the 2 jumps and then what can you roll? What else can you do?
You can do like a jump split. You can do a backflip.
Yeah, a backflip.
End it with some flourish.
Yeah. And
bow. Even bow.
Even ended with like a joke because I feel like he was like doing some unseen for a little bit.
Yeah.
So Hayden is next.
Yes.
And let me tell you about Miss Hayden.
He's a stunt queen.
He is a stunt queen. So...
He came in with a deception.
Yeah, but he also first started off with, I am like the best U.S. children's entertainer. in the world. And then Melissa looked at the camera like, oh, is that right?
Is that how that is? Like, it was a little shady. Like, oh, come on, Melissa. Welcome to the camera. Okay. Hayden is dialing into his children entertainment background, and baby, he makes that audience into children real fast.
Yes, he was like, I need you guys to put yourself back in that 5-year-old mindset. I'm like, I'm not trying to go back to some trauma, okay? I'm not trying to relive some trauma here.
This is second chances right now. I know Jonathan Bennett's probably sitting in the wings like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm there. Like, you know it. James Vaughn is like, does he do house calls? I just say this started off pretty well. He's doing magic tricks.
But let me tell you, he pulled a little stunt at the beginning.
Yes.
He opens up his coloring book to blank pages. He's like, oh no, I got the wrong book. You guys, I got the wrong book.
Don't say he's not an actor.
Don't say he's not an actor.
I mean, I was believing it for a second.
Oh my God.
I was like,
is he the only one that brought acting?
Baby, he was
the talent.
That's what they call selling. He thought those pages were really blank. He has the audience recite like a little magical phrase, and then
zippy zap.
Yes, zippy zap. Mm-hmm. Isn't that a Pikachu move from Pokemon?
Yeah, it is. No, watch out, because Nintendo likes suing.
Yeah, so. Nintendo will sue your ass, girls. Maybe add a few more syllables to that. Zippity zap. But yeah, they say the magic words, and suddenly the book is open. He like really sells that. Like, oh my God!
There's so many drawings here. Oh my God! And yeah, I was like, oh, you better work.
I see what you did there. And even has a confession. I was like, yeah, my whole act is being a magician where things go wrong. Like, that's pretty clever.
It is. Now he does a few more magic tricks. Everything goes well for him. But at the end, I didn't see it.
I didn't really either.
I mean, he kind of sold it off. If I was there, I would have been like, oh, okay, I did not notice anything. But one of the balls doesn't fall out on time or hits the inside of the cylinder.
I guess it fell out. Again, I don't know how the trick works. And that's the thing is, like, I'm part of the audience too. I wouldn't even know something went wrong.
But that's the thing, he sold it. He had so much energy. Like, yeah. I would have been like, yeah.
And he looked shocked, like, and then immediately hop back into it. I was like, we found it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
sold it.
I thought it was all part of the act, honestly. Because wasn't that his act from the beginning?
Yeah, totally. So I was just like, I was confused as to like why they were like really playing off like, oh my God, Hayden messed up.
I know. I was like, I didn't really see it for he's like this one.
Yeah, I hadn't saw no problem with it.
And then he ends it by giving everybody free balloons. So he was like Oprah, like, you get a balloon, you get a balloon, you get a balloon, everybody gets balloons.
If all else fails, give shit away, all right? It works for every talk show host under the sun, okay?
And the crowd was living.
They loved it. They wanted people. Oh, here's the thing. People freaking love balloon animals. Mm-hmm. It's a little known fact. He goes backstage, but first he has to change. So Jonathan Bennett actually comes out to like do some audience pattern.
Yeah, so like some stretching, which I don't know why, because he changed for the interview. It was not explained. It just said he had a change. I'm like,
why?
Why? I'm like, no, it was never explained. He just had a new outfit on.
Okay, so Hayden empties out in his new ensemble to be greeted by Kelty Knight, who, this interview got a little weird. It got a little bumpy. Kelty comes in hot, basically calling him out for, I couldn't help but notice that one of your tricks didn't quite go very well.
And he gaslit.
He gaslit, he gatekept, he girl bossed. And you know what? Here's the thing. I love wrestling. He didn't break kayfabe. If the audience didn't see it and the audience didn't know, it's none of their business if the magic trick didn't go right, okay?
Also, I thought like magicians never give out their secrets.
See, that's the thing. She was trying to go like magician secrets revealed. This is turned into an expose. I'm just like, good for you. You didn't break the number one carnival rule, which is never expose the business.
Don't break character, and he didn't.
But she was really drilling him on the magic trick. And I'm like, calm down. Oh my God.
Well, even at that point, I was like, at first, I took it. I was like, I knew Hallmark was not going to like this.
Yeah.
Because it's not genuine, and they're looking for people that are genuine. You know, just like a nicey two-shoes guy. And the fact that he did the gaslit, gay kept, and girl boss, I was like, they're not gonna live for this.
See, I took it from a different level. It's like, don't expose magic like that, because I guarantee you, Chris Angel will be at your door with a lead pipe, just like, what'd you say about our business? Mm-hmm. Also, here's the thing. I watched a little movie. Maybe you've heard of it, Jonathan Bennett. It was called The Christmas House, and in that movie, there was a magician who was doing magic, and never once did they say, "Hey, magician, how do those tricks work?" Just saying. I'm just saying. But he had a confessional after this saying he was really conflicted and felt bad that he felt like he probably should have been more genuine and told the truth. To which I say, no, you did what you were supposed to do.
You didn't break character.
You kept that kayfabe going.
Next up is Elijah, and he's actually rapping.
Yes.
But you know what this gave me flashbacks of?
What?
Mean Girls.
Oh my
Kevin
God.
G. You know, he's like, I'm a nerd, but don't forget, I'm like James Bond the Third. Something like that.
I'm a nerd. Forget what you heard. I'm like James Bond the Third. See, it was good. Like the rap was actually pretty good. Like, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, he wrote it himself too.
Yeah.
And as someone who co-wrote a rap for a song called Estoy Perdida by James Mansfield, available on iTunes right now.
Yes.
I was like, okay, work. You wrote that? How long did you have? They probably didn't even give him that much time.
Yeah, I wonder. I imagine. Do you think they got like told to prepare a talent show before this? Because some of it seemed a little slapdash.
I know. Part of me, I was like, I wish he would have sang because he has a good voice.
Yeah.
I mean, the rap was still good. He did his thing. I kind of noticed they cut off the ending a little bit.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they cut off some lyrics that weren't like PG friendly.
I'm sure they probably just chopped it up for time.
Yeah.
Because like he probably did a full song.
But Elijah, okay, so you rap. You sing, you write your raps too. I'm like, what else can you? And you act. What else can you do?
I'm sure he probably dances too. I'm sure he's a triple threat. And
That's
the girl
more than
should be
triple.
threatened. A quadruple threat?
I don't know what else he does. That's the thing about
a dozen threats.
That's the thing about Elijah. Every episode, he surprises me with something new. I'm like, that's a front runner right there.
Girl, he's a Swiss Army knife, all right? He's got it all. I was very impressed with this. The only thing that was missing from this performance was him just going, "Happy holidays, everybody."
Oh, like Kevin G.
I wish he would have ended on that, but again, I can see why he didn't.
I kind of wish he would have sang "Save Me" by Nicki Minaj.
Oh my God.
To show off his vocals for real.
Well, he actually, speaking of which, when he goes backstage to do his interview with Kelty, he's taken a bit by surprise, like, oh, but he jumped right into showbiz mode. You can tell he's probably done some junk before, probably for Hamilton and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
He slides right into that so smoothly. And she even asked him to sing, and we know how he feels about singing for free.
Oh, they had him singing for free, and he made up a jingle on the spot too for E! News.
Yeah.
He just made a melody up.
Yeah, it elevated the interview even more. Like, he worked on the spot. It was very impressive.
You know, after that, it's like, I'll send you my invoice.
Yeah, you better have invoiced them
Yeah.
for that. Like, have them PayPal you or Venmo you something.
E! News. Invoice right now.
Make sure you get a writing credit. Make sure you take that to the websites and make sure you get a royalty.
Make sure you register it with ASCAP.
Yep. Get your money, Elijah. Don't work for free.
Next up is Blake.
Yes.
And now for his talent show, it was kind of underwhelming only because he gassed himself up at the beginning.
He really did.
Saying, oh, I'm not going to tell you girls my talent show. It's a competition. And then
he came out and did like a country line dance.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Like, he built himself up like he's like the next Rudolph Nureyev. I'm just like, girl, this is a square dance.
He should have taken Elijah's suggestion earlier.
I mean, he kind of did. Because he was supposed to do it by himself, but then got the idea, you know what? I could use a volunteer from the audience. So I think he underhandedly did that. So he went and grabbed Becky from the audience, this adorable old lady, and they do a line dance together.
Becky basically saved the talent show.
Becky was leading, honey. Like, Becky, I hope you got like a bill for a hairstyle or something because you're being used as a crutch. Truly.
That's the thing. He went back to like being a flirt and charming again, which at first, when you first see it the first time,
it's really charming.
It's really charming and impressing. But I'm like, for me, if you keep doing it over and over again, it just is getting a little bit old. And I kind of wish they had a judge like Michelle Visage in here.
Oh my God,
she would called it out. Like, is this all you do?
What other tricks you got, country boy? You're turning into a one-trick pony.
Right.
Oh my God, Michelle Visage would have ate him up.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's like, I feel like I'm turning a bit of a hater. Like, I feel like I'm working commission at Macy's with him, where I'm just like, oh
he's
my
using
God,
that line again.
This routine again.
We're being the haters. Like, he keeps getting all the sales, and we're like, ugh.
Oh my God. I'm all the way back in impulse buy shoes again. Like, oh my God, this fucking guy.
I feel like it's working for him because they always have a new guest judge.
Yeah.
And, you know,
they're not wise to his tricks.
It's really charming at the beginning for his first impression, but they're not there every week to see that this is all he's doing. He's flirting his way through the competition.
But it's a bit of a hindrance at this point where I'm just like, okay, but you also flirt and don't learn your lines. You flirt and don't do the challenges. And now you're doing this talent show where you're relying on basically having a partner that you lead the whole time.
And not gonna lie, as a dancer, that dance routine was very mid. It was mid. It was not talent show worthy. I'm sorry. You did that to yourself because you really gassed it up.
Yeah.
So I was gassed up as an audience member. And then when I saw that.
Book it. You thought it was going to be like a full-on hoedown.
Yeah. And then when it just happened, it was like, it's not it.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry, baby. Blake exits the stage and he has to have his interview with Kelty Knight.
Yes, and again, it goes back to basically flirting again.
Yeah, old tactics come right again.
Yeah, and basically Kelsey asked Blake, what would your Hallmark movie be like? And he basically states like, oh, we were like a high school thing, and then you were the one that got away, like Katy Perry. And then, later on we come back, you have this rich boyfriend, you're rich, I'm poor. Then you see me without my shirt on, and then we kind of rekindle again. I was like,
basically every Hallmark movie plot ever
yes,
known to
I'm
man.
like, girl, this movie has been made over and over again. Kind of like you're flirting, so it's kind of making sense now.
He basically just said the whole plot of She's in Love with the Boy by Trisha Yearwood. I'm just like, baby, come on now. She'll be in touch. Her lawyers will be contacting you. Yeah, I wasn't buying it. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it anymore, Blake. I know you're the salesman, but I'm getting a little bored.
Mm-hmm. The sales pitch is getting stale.
Mm-hmm. It's time for a new vibe and a new look, sis.
Obviously, Kelty was feeling him because, again, first impressions of him, kind of like we had.
They have really been working out in his favor because it's always a new judge.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be like, congratulations, girl. If you make it all the way to the top, just flirting.
Just by flirting.
I was like, you did that.
It's like when Alyssa Edwards made it all the way to the end just by lip syncing for her life.
Yes.
But here's the thing, they need two pigeons like us on the sidelines just sitting there just like, oh, you're doing that again? I'm getting a little bored. What can I say? I'm getting very, very bored right now. It's very same. Oh my God, I wish I could be that.
So maybe that's why he hasn't even won a challenge.
Maybe that's why. It was very safe. He coasted this episode.
He coasted this episode. All right, so now we are in the winter wonderland, and the people that get praises are Blake because she loved his charisma. Not exactly the talent show, but he said in the interview he was very charismatic and genuine, and that's what you need as an actor. And I'm like, girl, being an actor is all about being fake. You're pretending to be a different person.
That's the thing. She also came in super hot for a Hallmark movie interview. I'm just like, girl, you're going to be asking what's your favorite eggnog or what's the coziest sweater. It's not Larry King. She was coming in so hot.
Elijah got praised. That's really well deserved. She really liked the fact that he made that jingle on the spot, and she said that's something that we will air on E! News.
And she loved Jonathan's interview, and she kind of went in on Parker, and she went in on Hayden. She said Hayden had no star quality.
Yeah, he said Hayden had no star quality. I was like, ooh.
Oh, damn.
He's shady.
She got that from one interview?
Right. She's shadier to him than we have been the whole season.
That was frosty.
Oh, my God.
I was like, girl.
Yeah, obviously, we already know why she didn't like Parker, because he has a ring.
Yeah, he's got a ring on and he let her know, and she didn't like that. She couldn't self-insert her into that fantasy.
Yeah, she couldn't flirt.
Sorry, honey, use your imagination.
Just like the rest of us, okay? We have to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that came out really aggressive.
It did a little bit, but I liked it. It was deserved. Because, she's got a yogurt punch card for an ass whooping with this man's wife. I can tell she's just sitting at home just like, that's two.
The wife is going to be like, Parker, you know what I'm rapping? He's like, what? These fists.
These hands.
These hands.
Express delivery.
Now, Blake was blushing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, girl, don't blush too much. She got a husband.
She has a husband. Also, she's kind of dressed like a wind chime. Do you look at the dress she had on?
Oh, yeah. I thought she looked like a little disco ball.
And for the win, it is Ezra.
Yes, Ezra also got praise. Obviously, he honestly did really well. Even though he slipped up on the interview, he won the second chance. This is a good second chance to have. I'm glad that we dialed Jonathan Bennett during the episode and told him, give him a better prize. And suddenly, he went and refilmed it and made it happen. I am so happy Ezra finally won because he is so pretty.
He's come such a far way, especially from being the bottom last episode.
Week, and then you are in the top. You won the talent show, and you deserve it.
And you won the Festive Face-Off. That's a double win.
This was your episode. I'm telling you, you got to take this talent show on the road. I will be there, buy my ticket, buy my mocktail from you, because I don't drink, okay? But make me a mocktail, okay? And I'll be living, posting it all over social media. We need Ezra's Christmas abs extravaganza.
The live experience.
Yeah.
The only thing missing from this little performance he did was a body shot. We need body shots.
But it's Hallmark, so
it
it's not
is,
going to happen.
It's a bummer.
What we needed was a reveal. So what if the turtleneck was there and he just ripped it off? And
oh my God, tearaway with Velcro?
Yes.
I love it.
The bottom The bottoms.
They're all bottom. Our bottom twos are Parker and Hayden.
Jonathan, Parker, and Hayden. Now, Jonathan gets saved because of his interview.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. Congratulations. But then the bottom two now are Hayden and Parker. And this is the first time Hayden is in the bottom because he's been doing so well.
He's been kind of a front runner the whole season.
Yep, so this was a big slip up for him.
Let's talk about Parker for a little bit because this was really hard on Parker.
Yeah, he's hot, but unfortunately he did bomb his talent show. He should have done more dad jokes.
Yeah.
And the interview was okay. I guess the reason they're not saying is because he has a wife. The reason
they were kind of alluding to it though.
The reason they're saying they're putting him in the bottom is because we didn't get to know him enough because he was talking a lot about his wife. So technically, the wife.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, which I thought I don't necessarily agree with.
No,
I don't think that's a bad quality to have.
Right. I'm like, people get married.
And if you watch any kind of celebrity interview on like Ellen or Kelly Clarkson or anything, all they ever talk about is their happy home life.
Yeah, some people love that. They love that they have a home life. They love that they're responsible. Not everybody is going to be lovable because they're an F-boy.
And Hayden, they basically gave a mark saying that he didn't open up and he should have like taken the hint to like say, yeah, something went wrong.
Because I guess that's going to make him more genuine and stuff. I guess because in a different light, let me bring this to this light, it seems deceitful.
Yeah.
As a Hallmark hunk or a Hallmark leading actor, they don't want you to be deceitful, especially for Hallmark. They want you to be pure.
They want you to be pure and own up to your mistakes. So it's also just like, here's the thing. I'm in entertainment. I'm in show business. I've worked with wrestlers and everything. I understand there's a certain code when it comes to things that come from the carnival. You don't say things are fake. You never say it's fake. That's like the carnival rule. Never say something's fake.
But unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to one of them, and they eliminate Parker. Now, when they said Parker, my heart sank. I thought I was about to cry.
I know.
I was like, do something to save him. And then...
Yes. Oh, my God. It was like they hurt us. I felt like they were in our minds.
Yes.
I had to get out of our minds.
Like, we were like, please save him. And then all of a sudden, Jonathan Bennett, once Parker leaves, he talks to the guys. He's like, you have a chance to save Parker or just let him go. Now, do you think this is another like hard, genuine test?
I think it is. I think he wants to see who's going to be the one to say, no, I think he's good. He can go.
Can you imagine if they say, no, there's some guys that say he could go. They switch those out with eliminated people.
That would be sickening. Oh my God, they just take your spot because you just showed you're not genuine.
Now, I feel since they're taking the hint now from previous episodes, I feel like they're kind of smart and they're like, well, we want to seem genuine. So they're all going to say yes.
They're going to be smart to it and wise
So
up.
I'm hoping that it's all yes because I want to see Parker at least a few more episodes. At least one more.
Same. Like, I don't want him to go.
And then the episode just ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. So we're going to find out next week if they're going to let Parker back in or if they're going to tell him to pack his bags.
Well, that is episode 4 of Cruising Mr. Christmas, our podcast on reviewing Finding Mr. Christmas on Hallmark Plus. Now, do you disagree with our opinions? Comment down below. What do you think about this episode? Comment down below. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars.
Yes, 5 stars only. And if we missed anything, let us know down below. Okay, start that dialogue. We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, see you in the live streams.
Bye.